Careblazer, today I got to chat with Lewis, the man who created Jelly Drops. He's from the UK. He joins me today from the UK, and he created Jelly Drops after his grandma, who had dementia, was hospitalized for severe dehydration. This was his first experience with realizing sometimes people with dementia have trouble drinking or staying hydrated. And so this got him to be curious about what might he be able to do to help his mom stay more hydrated. So he started to do some research. He started to visit the care facility his grandma was at for a month, doing research, spending time with the other people there, coming up with different prototypes. And in the end, he developed these jelly drops. So they come in multiple different like snack pots or like a full tray. And in this video today, I ask him like, how much water does this actually give somebody? Is it safe for somebody to have if they have trouble swallowing? Are they available yet? Yes, they are. They're available in the US just recently. And yeah, we get to hear his story. So I hope you enjoy this interview with Lewis. All right, Lewis, thank you so much for being here and for coming on to talk about these jelly drops. They have created such a buzz. I know a lot of people have heard about them, and my community in particular, because you guys sent me some, right? You guys sent me these like snack pots, and my community is like waiting. When can we get them? So what I thought we would do to start off is, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and the story about how jelly drops came about? Because it's really inspiring.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for having me. I'm really excited to share the story of Jelly Drops with everyone. I developed them a few years ago for my late grandma, Pat. I usually introduced her as my chief research partner. So she had dementia for about 7 to 8 years. But a few years ago, her condition started to dramatically decline. And it was only when she was rushed to hospital we realised she was actually severely dehydrated. So that's what sort of alerted the issue of dehydration to me for people living with dementia. And I wanted to try and, help, basically.
Yeah. So, I mean, how does this idea come into your mind when you see what's happening?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was studying a course at the time, an innovation design course. And I was very fortunate to be able to draw on expertise from psychology and doctors, nutrition. But I really started by trying to understand why people with dementia struggle perhaps to drink, and realised there was loads of reasons. Many people may no longer feel thirst, they may not equate drinking with quenching thirst, they may not recognise cups or have the dexterity to use them, and that can lead to a general sense of confusion. So I went and actually lived in my grandma's care home for about a month in total, and spoke to the residents, the carers, the residents' families, and I realised whilst many people struggled with drinking, they might pour the drink away or put food in their drink, or just fall asleep with it in their hands. It seemed a bit more independence with food, especially finger foods. It seemed more intuitive, less distractions with cutlery, and there's also more sociable. Grandma, you would like to share her food and was much more likely to eat when those around her were eating. Having said that, it was still maybe sometimes difficult to get people to engage with their food. But that was, however, I found, unless you offered them a sweet. So, generally I'd walk around the care home and most of the residents would ignore me, which is fair enough. But if I had a box of chocolates, then everyone's your best friend and they're taking a handful and speaking with you. So that was the idea, to create a sort of solid form of hydration in the format of a treat.
Did your grandma ever get a chance to try them?
Yeah, so I made the first prototype in sort of just before the summer of 2018, and that was my student kitchen down in London, and I made the packaging at uni. So I had the first format, which were the drop shapes, and the very similar presentation to how it is now in the tray, is the original tray. And when she first saw them, she ate 7 drops in the first 10 minutes, and
Wow.
Immediately recognised them as a treat, was easily able to pick them up and engage with them herself. And it was really fantastic to see, because really Jelly Drops are designed to help people hydrate themselves independently and with dignity. The sort of social, enjoyable side of it is also really, really important. I felt that I didn't want it to be sort of overly medicalised as such, and something that people can share and sort of bond over as well. Sharing that first tray over is really fantastic. And fortunately, I filmed it, and that video I put online for competition, and then within a few weeks it basically had over 100 million views, and it sort of went all around the world. So at that time I was like I said, still making them in my student flat, but I was getting thousands of messages of, asking where people could get them.
Yeah. And I think the design is so beautiful. Like I could see somebody being interested. What is that? I want that. Let me pick that up.
Exactly. I think, people don't necessarily eat them because they want to be more hydrated, eat them because they look nice and they taste nice, and it's just a fun thing to have. I was watching some videos around, tips around mealtime and stuff, and a lot of the features you were talking about I tried to sort of distill in that packaging. So, the bright colours against the sort of plain background, and reduction of anything sort of extra on the table needed, finger foods and all those sorts of things really sort of help with the engagement. The different colours with a sense of choice, and a talking point.
Yeah.
You like orange, my favourite's lime. Those sorts of points.
Yeah, I think I got the berry pack. So are there like multiple? So there was like 3 different flavors in that one, but are there like a whole bunch of different flavors?
So in the original trays, there's 6 flavors. It's the berry, the raspberry, strawberry, black currant, and lemon, lime, and orange. And then in the snack pots, there's the berry flavors. So with them, the snack pots have each got their own flavor, and that helps with sort of the intensity of the flavors and things like that. And the snack pots, I guess, are what we've developed since launching, working with our community. We're very fortunate to have a really engaged community, which is fantastic, and it's great to hear what all the stories, how people get on with the trays. And from those insights, we've developed a snack pot, slightly smaller portions, slightly smaller drop size, and perhaps better if you're on the go or something like that. So the snack pots also drawn a lot of those original sort of insights I suppose I had in Grandma's care home.
They're really easy to just stick in your purse and like take on the go with the snack pots.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for care staff as well, whereas perhaps someone wouldn't eat a full tray in one sitting, you'd have to then take the tray away and bring it back. So the snack pots mean that it's more just of a portion size. So both the tray and the snack pot, I guess, work well in different areas. Many people like to have both for different sort of settings, exactly. I suppose.
Yeah. So yesterday on my Instagram, I posted to my community. I was like, I'm going to talk to Lewis tomorrow, like the creator of Jelly Drops. Like, what questions do you have? And one of the questions that came up, which is a question I have, is like, how much water does somebody actually get from a jelly drop?
Yeah. So jelly drops, I suppose, aren't designed to replace water as such another tool for people to use to help top up or boost their water intake. But the tray has 10 ounces of water in. So the original tray, and then the snack pots, there's sort of 6 snack pots are equivalent to the original tray. So,
okay, so like 6 snack pots would be 10 ounces?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I could see it being used for like in other ways as well, just in terms of there are some people with dementia who just want to eat and eat and eat all the sweets. And there's like that whole where, they might be gaining a lot of weight and it's unhealthy for them. I could see something like this being helpful too. It looks like a bowl of sweets in front of them, but without all of those high calories.
Yeah, there's not very many calories in them at all. Yeah. And they're sugar-free, vegan, gluten-free. From a dietary point of view, we wanted to make it sort of as inclusive as possible. But my mum was also a dentist, so she was keen for me to not, put sugar in them because, obviously all hygiene can also be an issue sometimes, and you don't want to, contribute to another problem by trying to sort of provide a nice source of hydration.
Exactly. And one of my Careblazers asked, is it kosher? Do you know?
At the moment, we don't have the certification for that, but I think it's something we'll be looking into.
Yeah. Okay. And then, what everybody wants to know, like, where are these available? Because as soon as I posted it on Instagram, they like went to the website and they were like, it's not yet available in the US, but maybe coming.
Yeah, so the US site is now open as of a couple of weeks ago. So
people can order them?
Yeah. Oh. So that's the jellydrops.us is the website that people can visit.
Okay.
And on there, we have the trays and the snack pots. I think the snack pots are currently are soon back in stock. But the as we're launching, we tend to have good stock over there, but sometimes it can go up in and out, and that's, I suppose, one of the benefits of having a sort of subscription, is that it allows us to plan our stock better and ship better, and also help guarantee stock for people. But yeah, they are available now on the jellydrops.us.
Okay, people will be excited to hear that. And are they available in Canada? One of my Canadian followers wanted to know.
At the moment, they're not, but it's something we're looking into. Okay. So yeah, I think potentially soon.
Okay. And then what's the shelf life on these? I saw there was an expiration date on the box that was sent to me, but I was just curious, like typically how long they would last.
All products should be shipped with at least 4-week shelf life from shipping, but it tends to often be longer than that as well. So yeah, 4 weeks generally, and when people get subscriptions, it's sort of, a sort of up to 4-week cycle.
Yeah, wonderful. And then I noticed there was the disclaimer, which I thought was really great. It was very clear to read in the packaging, just like if somebody has swallowing issues, it might not be great. And one of my followers wrote in and said, would it be safe for somebody who was on a thickened liquid diet?
Yeah, I think at the moment, we'd suggest that people speak or consult with a speech and language therapist if they had any sort of questions around that. But at the moment, we sort of have that warning around, perhaps if you have swallowing difficulties, then perhaps not suitable.
Yeah. I was really surprised. So I think when the video went viral, and all, everything was like posting around, I'm like, oh, those look really cool. And when I tried one and I expected it, I don't know, I expected water to squirt out, but it really isn't. It's really like a gummy bear, like a Jello gummy bear combination.
Exactly. It says it's not like an encapsulation of fluid. It is solid all the way through, and the water's in the sort of bound in the matrix like a Jello.
Yeah.
And that was so people could bite it or chop it up, and it wouldn't run down your front potentially, or also for people it wouldn't be perhaps an unexpected release of fluid in the mouth, which I guess could have other could be a problem. So it's solid all the way through, and but it's still easy to chew.
It was very easy. I was really expecting like something to burst in my mouth, and it didn't happen. So yeah, it's such a creative response to an issue that's really common and happens a lot in dementia. And I love that you say it's not like a replacement for hydration, but it can augment, help supplement, if somebody who's having trouble getting some fluids.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's just, like you said as well, like it's just a nice thing to have, something to share and bond over. Many times I would go and visit my grandma in a care home, and sometimes it can be difficult to really have a conversation about things. But if you've got like a sort of social prop, something you can share, then really sort of helped share that sort of moment, and both enjoy something. And that's sort of key to it. Like jelly drops are really just sweets that anyone can enjoy. They just happen to be designed with people with dementia in mind. So it doesn't really create that barrier between a caregiver or a family member when they're sort of sharing, like you would share a cup of tea or a drink normally.
Yeah.
A cup of tea maybe is a British thing, but any sort of drink.
Yeah. And actually, I want to circle back because I'm not sure I understood totally. Did you say you lived in the care home for a month?
So I would go every day and stay in my grandma's house, which was locally at night, but I would go every day for sort of week periods during the sort of research sort of phase. And when I first started the project, I didn't really know if anything would come of it. It was just a good excuse to go and see a bit more of grandma, because I was stuck down in London and she was up in Yorkshire, in North England. So I go and sort of stay there every day.
Yeah. What were some of, and this is totally off topic, but I'm just really curious, like, what were some of the experiences while you were spending your day there? Because I imagine you interacted with more than just your grandma, especially if you're doing research.
Yeah. Well, I got to know the other residents fairly well, and, appreciate, how it was in the care home. There's a few insights before I came up with the idea of the sort of solid form of hydration in the format of a sweet. And one of the main ones I first thought would be nice to sort of try and understand more was my grandma had this teddy bear that my uncle had given her, and pretty much no matter how she was feeling, you got this teddy bear out and she would always just light up and grab it and have the same response. And that was initially what I saw that, and I thought if I could find something that was like that would help her hydrate, then that'd be good. And also, many other people in the care home have the similar reaction with teddies and things like that. And you can buy animatronic sort of pets and things that often people really appreciate. So I was looking for a sort of hydration or at least food version of that, and that's when I sort of realised that sweets tended to do that. So there's a few sort of steps before coming up with the sort of final concept.
Yeah, I think you definitely found it. I imagine that some care homes might even carry these as snacks or things. Do you know that if they're doing that?
Yeah, there's care homes in the UK that use jelly drops, and some of our longest subscription customers are care homes, and we've had a great response on that front. We also have interest in a few NHS trial trusts in the UK trialing the product and repeat purchasing the product, perhaps on elderly and frail wards and areas like that in the hospital. And it's been really great to get that feedback, and it's through a lot of those initial customers that we've led to the insights of the snack pots as well. So we're very fortunate to have quite close relationships, and people have been very willing to sort of help us sort of make the product the best it can be, really.
Yeah, it sounds like you're just adapting and adjusting based on the research you're getting. So
yeah, we're very fortunate that we do basically everything in-house. So all our new product development, our production, everything is within our team. So we've been able to be quite agile to any feedback, and we've already tweaked the existing product with the texture and the flavors and all these sorts of things to make it more familiar and perhaps taste stronger. So yeah, we've sort of been busy since we launched, which was in the UK. That was sort of mid 2020. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we've not been able to actually get out and meet a lot of our customers. We did before the pandemic, trialing different versions, but going out and meeting our community, we're starting to do more now, and it's really great to see some people enjoy it. But we've been very fortunate that a lot of people like to share their stories, send videos, which has been really fantastic.
Yeah, they do. I've been recording people as they're taste testing. I was going to put together a video of it. So it's been fun. And actually, I really appreciate you guys sent me a big box of these, and I just shipped them out to different people who were saying they were interested in trying them, before ordering. And so that was really nice to be able to do.
Yeah, no, it's always super when people send us videos, and we love it because it's great. It's so nice to see people enjoy them as much as Grandma did, and to know it's all getting out there and helping other people, and other people enjoying them is really fantastic.
Right, it's amazing. Yeah, thank you for what you've done, what you've put together, and I suppose a lot of the credit goes to your grandma.
Yeah, definitely. And she's that's where the sort of name Patterson's comes from. Actually, my grandma was called Pat Dickinson, so I sort of mashed the names together to make Patterson's. So that's why it's Patterson's Jelly Drops.
Oh, interesting. So that's your grandma's name is part of that.
It's a sort of a composite of her first and second name.
I love it. Yeah. That's very thoughtful. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Lewis, thank you so much. I'm just looking over the questions, some of them that were submitted. I think we've covered them all. I'm glad to hear. Somebody messaged me the other day and they were like, I thought they would be available in the US. I'm like, me too, but now they are. It's just jellydrops.us. And yeah, people can give them a try. Thank you for coming out this way, having them available. I know it's been a while in the works and people have been waiting, and just excited to see what this does over here on this side of the pond.
Well, we're super appreciative of all the support we've had from the US. It really has sort of, made Jelly Drops a reality. The initial response we got from the video and the crowdfunding campaign was set up initially that got us kick-started, and a lot of donations came in from the US. So, we've been sort of working as fast as we can to get it over there, and, super sort of happy that, now's the time. And and thanks very much for having me today as well.
It's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks, Lewis.
Super.
Bye.